A stunning announcement out of Louisville.
This is a punishment I thought would never happen this season.
Why the University of Louisville is self-imposing a one-year ban on the NCAA tournament for the men's basketball team.
Health officials in Estill County say they're getting closer to figuring out what is getting dozens of people sick with salmonella.
We're much more likely to get cancer.
There's a new bill in Frankfort that Lexington firefighters are hoping will help one of their own recently diagnosed with cancer.
This is WKYT News at 6.
Good evening to you. A stunning announcement out of Louisville today. The University of Louisville men's basketball team will not play in this year's NCAA tournament.
U of L will be implementing a self-imposed postseason ban on the team this year. Rob Bromley joins us now with the very latest on the reasons behind that ban. He has our top story at 6. Rob?
U of L President James Ramsey said today it is reasonable to conclude that violations occurred in the Cardinals basketball program. Ramsey did not go into any details about the investigation since the NCAA is still conducting its own investigation and further penalties could still be handed out.
I recognize that this is a significant penalty for our program, and this will be a disappointment to our student athletes and to many in the University of Louisville family.
I would like you to call to our fans to come out in full force tomorrow in support of these incredible young men. And that's all I can ask for as a head basketball coach.
Louisville will host Boston College tomorrow. Just 9 games remaining on the schedule, and then that will be the end of the Cardinals season this year. Sam Amber.
Rob, thank you. And Louisville could face more penalties when the NCAA wraps up its investigation.
An emotional day in the courtroom. Today, a judge heard testimony in the case of 3 people accused of killing a UK student last year. Roman Gonzalez, Justin Smith, and Efrain Diaz are charged in the shooting death of Jonathan Kruger during a robbery. Victor Puente was in the courtroom and has more on the testimony from police.
The attorneys for all 3 men argued that their clients deserve to have bonds set. 2 of those 3 men could be facing the death penalty if they're convicted. Lexington Police Detective Reed Bowles testified today that witnesses told them Efrain Diaz, Justin Smith, and Roman Gonzalez had been planning to rob someone the night Jonathan Kruger was shot and killed.
They had been driving around, the male individuals had been drinking, they had been discussing attempting to steal cars throughout the evening, and eventually made it onto UK's campus.
Gonzalez was 17 at the time of the shooting, so he isn't eligible for the death penalty, but the other 2 are. So far, their bonds haven't been set, and today their attorneys asked that that be changed, requesting bonds ranging from $10,000 to $50,000. Kruger's family was in the courtroom during the testimony and arguments. Bowles said police never recovered one of the guns used in the shooting. He also said they have conflicting accounts about who actually shot Kruger.
That as they were driving away from the scene, Roman Gonzalez began making statements that he had shot and killed the victim during that robbery.
Once that evidence was presented, Judge Ernesto Scorsoni didn't hesitate to make his decision.
Mr. Diaz and Mr. Smith, I don't think bail is available in this situation. Mr. Gonzalez, bail is possible because death is not an option for him, and I'll set that bail at $1 million. Okay?
After the hearing, Kruger's mother, Mary, was too emotional to discuss the case. All 3 men will be back in court March 25th for a status hearing before this goes to trial. In Lexington, Victor Puente, WKYT.
Police also testified that all 3 men claimed to be part of a gang. Gonzalez's attorney says police also testified that one of the suspects claimed Justin Smith was the shooter.
Health officials in Estill County have been trying to figure out what is getting several people sick lately. And tonight we're told there has been at least 19 cases of salmonella in the county. Garrett Weimer's live in Estill County tonight, where health officials just wrapped up a news conference. And Garrett, did the department pinpoint a cause?
Well, county leaders say they're getting closer, but they haven't zeroed in on anything yet. At a news conference inside the county's Emergency Operations Center, a representative from the health department says they've had around 40 reports of a gastrointestinal illness and 19 confirmed cases of salmonella. Now, of those 19 cases, 6 people have been sent to the hospital and 3 we're told are still in the hospital. County officials are not naming names at this point, but all of the confirmed cases do have something in common.
The one thing that they do have in common, they had all eaten at the same establishment, but they had also eaten at other establishments also. And we are investigating every possible source of this.
The county judge executive reassured folks that there's no reason for people here to be afraid to go eat at any of the local restaurants. In fact, he says he'd be the first one to go back. Live in Estill County, Garrett Weimer, WKYT.
Garrett, thank you. The health department says symptoms of salmonella also closely resemble those of a virus also going around the county right now.
We are ending the week with some beautiful weather and some better weather ahead, too.
That's right. Great weekend ahead. We saw plenty of sunshine today. Looks like that will carry over right into Saturday. Chief Meteorologist Chris Bailey's here with the latest on that. Hey, Chris.
Hey, guys. Yeah, indeed. Weekend is underway now and rolling some clouds across central and eastern Kentucky, but not to worry. Those clouds are not going to be producing precipitation. We'll hold that off until we get into late Sunday night and Monday. Here you see the clouds on your Defender radar network. Those are mainly ice crystal clouds. Fairly thin, not precipitation producers, and you can see the overcast skies right on top of the Hamburg Pavilion area where we had a fair amount of sunshine for the better part of the day until some of those late day clouds rolled into central and eastern Kentucky. Out and about this evening, a mix of stars and some clouds with temperatures dropping from the upper 30s, that's where we are now, into the upper 20s to low 30s between 9 and 11 o'clock or so, depending on exactly where you are. So it is a chilly, not a cold evening. Weekend, Super Bowl weekend, it should look super. It's going to feel even better as we go into Saturday and Sunday. Then it's a quick change to wintertime. Come Sunday night into Monday, we've got numerous rounds of snow and Arctic cold temperatures as we go into next week. And when I come back here in about 10 minutes, guys, we're going to break down that pattern that will bring Old Man Winter back into town and show you a new computer forecast that shows you how much snow it thinks will fall over the next week.
It's almost been a week, and there's still no word on the exact cause of Lexington's largest fire.
Lexington firefighters put a lot of hours into fighting it, and today the city is honoring those brave men and women. The destruction is devastating, but a Lexington business right in the middle of that fire wanted to say thank you. Leak eliminators held a lunch for the Lexington Fire Department this afternoon.
The black smoke, of course, you couldn't see anything, and everybody was, had smoke inhalation and all that stuff. It was really rough. But now everybody's, cheerful and upbeat, and even the firefighters are walking around taking it all in, because it's a totally different scene now without the smoke.
Firefighters were surprised at lunch with cards from students at Meadowthorpe Elementary. Those firefighters said the gift from those kids was better than any of the donuts or food that they received. As the community continues to support the Lexington Fire Department, they're asking for support for one of their brothers. Doctors recently diagnosed firefighter Matt Loxton with stage 4 cancer. His fellow firefighters want legislation that'll provide for Loxton's family while he receives treatment. Kristen Kennedy is in Frankfort with the push for a new law and a story that's new at 6.
One of the best compliments you can get fighting fires is knowing the men and women beside you look up to you.
He's a fireman, and I say that as a compliment. He's just not on the job. He's a fireman.
Captain Dustin Whited has worked alongside firefighter Matt Logston for years. Doctors recently diagnosed Logston with stage 4 cancer. Captain Whited says he's one of many firefighters who's been exposed to harmful substances, who may have gotten cancer from fighting fires.
We wash our gear regularly. We wash our hoods regularly. It's just that we're around so many bad things, those carcinogens and the heat and all that stuff.
Firefighter organizations have been pushing for workers' compensation for those firefighters with cancer since 2011. This year, they're introducing a new bill that they hope would make certain forms of cancer considered death in the line of duty.
I don't know that you can give just a blanket statement that if a firefighter gets cancer, that it's automatically related to his firefighting job. How much has he smoked? Has he been exposed to other chemicals, etc., in other jobs?
Representative David Watkins hasn't supported the House bills in the past, but is willing to take a fresh look at a new one.
I'll be glad to read the bill and look at it and study it for its merit.
The proposed bill would help families like Joe Vissings. A Lexington firefighter passed away last year from cancer. If the bill passes, deaths like his would be considered deaths in the line of duty. Families like his could receive help through their heartache.
Because of Joe and because of Matt, and there's been so many other guys all across the nation that have had this problem, they're trying to get that out as a line of duty injury, because it's been shown all across the nation that we're much more likely to get cancer.
Captain Whited says the bill's a way to look out for the man he looks up to. In Lexington, Kristen Kennedy, WKYT.
Logsdon begins treatment at the Cancer Treatment Centers of America Monday. His fellow firefighters are raising money to cover his expenses. We have a link to the fundraising page on our website, WKYT.com.
New tonight, we've learned that the city of Lexington has given the developers of the Centrepointe project another extension. Last month, city leaders gave Centrepointe's new developers a 30-day extension to begin work on that site. That extension expired today, and the city has given the developers another 30-day extension. The city says it's waiting on a consultant's report about whether moving the government center to Centrepointe is a good use of taxpayers' money.
Super Bowl 50 is right around the corner, and many football fans are looking to upgrade their TVs before the big game.
Good timing for that. A new survey shows that more than 8 million people will buy a new TV in the days leading up to the Super Bowl. We talked to the director of marketing at Pirates in Lexington, who says you can find several sales this time of year.
Everybody wants to buy a TV at this time of year, so we're going to lower the prices to make sure that you can get one that fits your budget and fits your home.
You can watch Super Bowl 50 right here on WKYT. The kickoff is set for around 6:30 on Sunday.
New tonight, Kentucky's Creation Museum is a step closer in tripling its size. The museum in Boone County wants to build a new 3-story building, which would include a large hall for traveling exhibits. The county's planning commission recommended a zone change for the museum. They're now trying to appease people who are against the expansion by limiting the number of outdoor events at the museum and by limiting the noise level. The Boone County Fiscal Court will have to approve that zone change.